It is now my belief that the federal government intends to charge me with crimes.
Eric Adams he's an interesting character because he's done virtually everything wrong. He's largely destroyed New York City, Sanctuary City, letting the Hamas rallies happen, all the rest of it. You get that. But then every now and again, it's like, he's not completely bananas. You might argue that's actually the most dangerous type of Democrat, because when you're dealing with like the total lunatic, it's sort of fairly obvious. Like if you have a Rashida Tlaib or an Ilhan Omar or an AOC, you just have the holistic knowledge of who they are. And this guy, it's like, you're 90% insane. Maybe I can work with that 10%. And usually it just doesn't work out that well. Well, he's in a lot of hot water right now. We've got this from the Daily Wire. New York City Democrat Mayor Eric Adams has reportedly been indicted in the federal criminal corruption investigation that has cast a dark cloud over his administration for nearly a year. The New York Times reported that the indictment remains under seal. Did you get the joke yet? And it's unclear what charges he faces, but once it's unsealed, he will be the first New York City mayor to be charged while in office. The investigation had initially centered around whether he conspired with the Turkish government to funnel illegal foreign contributions to his campaign in exchange for actions that he took as mayor. Investigators were also looking at whether he got free flight upgrades from an airline owned by the Turkish government. The New York Times reported earlier this week that prosecutors subpoenaed City Hall, Adams, and his campaign 2 months ago for additional information related to China, Qatar, Uzbekistan, South Korea, and Israel. The New York Post reported that U.S. Attorney Damian Williams is expected to announce the charges tomorrow when the indictment is unsealed, and sources told the publication that Adams will turn himself in early next week. So look, I have no idea if any of this is true. Clearly, there's a lot more we're going to find out here and everything else, but Eric Adams already has made a public statement, and he's wearing his well-fitting suit and his oddly shaped head relative to the size of his body, but here's his statement.
My fellow New Yorkers, it is now my belief that the federal government intends to charge me with crimes. If so, these charges will be entirely false, based on lies. But they would not be surprising. I always knew that if I stood my ground for all of you, that I would be a target, and a target I became. For months, leaks and rumors have been aimed at me in an attempt to undermine my credibility and paint me as guilty. Just this past week, they searched the home of our new police commissioner, looking for documents from 20 years ago, just 1 week after he joined my administration. Enough. I will fight these injustices with every ounce of my strength and my spirit.
You know, we figured out what he looks like. It's like his body is robotic, like it's from Men in Black, and his head is just the alien thing. Like the press conference ends and then the head just flies away, and then there's little aliens inside the head, and then the body just waits to be reattached later. But all of that being said, that's high-level political analysis for you. All of that being said, I don't know. I have no idea what's true here. No one that you're going to watch analyze this today has any idea if any of this stuff is true. We're obviously going to find out a whole bunch more.